What's up, guys? Going over something today that I wish I knew, and a lot of this I'm speaking from experience, that if you're looking to get out of the military or any job, actually, they're not going to teach you this stuff, at least not at the highest level. And they're going to give you a very baseline foundation of three things, or these are three things you must do before getting out of the military. And really, it's very simple. But the execution part is the biggest thing. So you must execute it at the highest level, right? So those three things are extra income, how to make it, right? How to budget, and how to get clarity on your goals, or just getting clarity on your goals to begin with, right? And a little bit about me, I got out of the military a couple years ago. I did real estate part-time, now I'm a full-time agent, and I have a team, but part-time while I was in the military. And these are three things I wish I knew prior to getting out. Because I got out and really I did well for myself, I do well for myself, but I wasn't reaching my potential, and I felt as if I was scrambling for business or success or whatever, rather than creating a sustainable business and being consistent and knowing what's out there and creating the possibility or creating the reality I want, right? So let's talk about this. All right. A lot of these are very intertwined and it will make a lot of sense, but the first thing is how to make extra income, right? Digging deeper than just making money, this is developing the habit of looking for ways to make money and just creating that mindset within yourself, right? All that's going to bleed into, oh, what the hell? Whoops. All that's going to bleed into, budgeting and getting clarity on your goals and things like that. But there's so many different ways to do it. The biggest thing to remember is we have to create that mindset of knowing we're a hustler, we could go out and get more if we needed to, right? So some simple ideas, some things I did was I would go to garage sales, man, up on base. I was riding patrol. And I would tell them like, hey dude, I'm on patrol. I would love to buy this weed eater, and they'll sell it for super cheap, $20, right? I'll pick it up after shift, and then I'll go and post it on KSL, which is Utah's Craigslist, and sell it for like 60 to $100, dude. And I'll do this over and over again. You don't need to be on base. You could go to any garage sale, just be the first one to get there. But that really started to segued into everything else I do now. That was a foundational thing of how to create money. So I know if I need to go out and make $100 a weekend, that's one way I'll do it, right? And you don't have to sell it on KSL Craigslist, but back at like these times, you could post it on eBay. One big one is Facebook Marketplace. Or your own social media. So it's really, there's so many ways to do it, right? That's one aspect of making extra income. It is a way, but now you can see you could probably start thinking of things where you will be like, oh, I could go out and do this. You could go DoorDash, right? You could go get a door-to-door sales job as a 1099 self-employed contractor and start selling whatever it is, dude. That's stuff you can do. You don't need to work just your 9 to 5 or your regular shift and be done. You could put a little bit of extra energy into creating more income. I'm telling you right now, if you spent 2 hours a day, 4 days a week, over a span of 1 to 3 years, you're gonna make so much extra money. It just takes dedication, right? Some other ideas, you could start a side hustle. So I started a t-shirt company, a little brand, and with that, I learned a lot of lessons, and it translated over into my real estate career. But that's what we have social media for, dude. Use it. Learn how to use it. Learn how to leverage it. Learn how to run ads. Learn how to market, create content, right? Because once you build that following, it's going to take a little bit longer than you think, most likely. But once you build that following, you could release a t-shirt or something, and then you can make, there's times where we dropped a t-shirt and we made a few thousand in an hour, dude. And it was like, holy shit. And me as an airman in the military, I was like, god damn. That was actually relatively easy. Of course, do right, and it's running a business. That's a whole nother topic, but something to think about. And the next thing I kind of touched on it here before is another sales job, right? Oftentimes in the military or whatever, we're taught to get paid, you must show up for work, and we're taught to work hard, but we don't really think about how can I multiply my efforts by working the same time. So one way to do that is getting a job where your income is uncapped. So that could be, get your real estate license, do it part-time. Don't recommend that if you're not committed, but that's an option. Or like I said, sell software or like a smart or alarm system or pest control or something, door to door, part-time as well, or on the weekends. that's something you could do. And if they offer you 100% commission and you're willing to do that, because I mean, that's uncapped potential, excuse me, that will take you so much further. And all that stuff, just creating that mindset and everything you learn from doing those things will help you with your future endeavors, right? My intention is I like to work with entrepreneurs and sales guys and stuff like that. But you need to build those simple habits now and learn those skills, because that's going to translate into those bigger ticket items you're going to do. So that's number one, learn how to make extra income. Number two, how to budget. And I still pay for this shit because I made a lot of stupid ass mistakes. But we're always taught save money, save money, save money. We're never really taught how or what models and systems to use, right? So there's a few different systems and models out there to use. One thing for me, if I don't know where to get started, live off 55% of what you make, right? The rest, split it into 10% to savings, 10% emergency fund. I don't even know if I'm doing the math right. 10% education, and 5%. I mean, you can use it to pay credit card debt, or you can use that to give even more, like charity. I think that's all correct. I don't have my notes for that, but that's an option right there. At the end of the day, just live off 55% of your living expenses. And I wish I did this prior, because back in, I don't know what year, it was 2018, I was working full-time military and I was also doing real estate, and that was the most money I made in a year. And looking back, after that year, I literally had nothing to show for it, because I didn't know how to budget, right? And don't put a bunch of shit on credit cards, I'll just tell you that right now, unless you know how to leverage that stuff, but that's a whole different convo. So that's one way to do it. That's one model to follow. Let's talk about systems. I have tried everything. I've tried an Excel spreadsheet, blah, blah, blah. One thing I found that's worked for me recently is it's called Mint by Intuit. It's a free system, so there's going to be ads and shit, but who cares? But you can link all your bank accounts to it and get it on your phone. It will give you notifications too as well. But what's really, really good about that is I looked at every single transaction, right? And this is one thing I recommend I can help you with, is shoot me a text, email, whatever. I went through every single transaction and I was able to get clarity on what's bullshit spending I was doing and wasting my money on, and what are actual expenses, both personal and business, that were needed and they occurred on a day-to-day basis, right? So here's what a huge fucking punch in the face was to me. I realized in last December, I'm making this January 2nd, I don't even know the date. I spent $900 on eating out and DoorDash, right? And I'm not perfect, I'm still learning this shit. That's why I'm sharing some of this stuff, because I wish I knew this a few years ago, or at least developed these habits. But I'm like, holy fuck, imagine if I spent that money on something else. $900, that's another Mercedes or something like that. So I figured out, one, where my excess spending is, because what you track and measure improves. And two, I figured out exactly down to the dollar what I needed each month to survive, and I budgeted for that. So for now, for me, my going out and ordering food budget a month it's kind of low, but it's $100. That's a big change from $900, and now I can really focus that money on investments and things I want to do, right? And you got to know, let's see, how would I put this? The why behind budgeting is vital. You don't realize it and how important it is until you get punched in the fucking mouth by life, or you're on, let's say, an expense, something like that. My dog got super sick a few weeks ago, pissing blood, so that punched me in the mouth. But that's why. You want to be prepared for that. Some other things I recommend if you want to dig deeper on this, learn how to leverage money, things like that. Read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Wealthy Code, any Dave Ramsey stuff, learn about credit. There's so many free resources out there, or even books, that if you're not utilizing that, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. Okay, third thing, clarity on your goals. How would I put this? So when I got out of the military, I had a vision, kind of what I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, but I never had clarity on exactly what it is, right? Why is this important? Because if you don't have clarity on your goals, you'll think you're doing the right thing or whatever you need to do, but really you're going to be running around like a chicken with their head cut off. And I learned that lesson over the past few years. And until I got clarity on exactly what I wanted and the reason why behind it, I felt like I was anxious. I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like I was never making progress and wasting time. But I know, like, if you look right here, I'm in my office, my goals and vision board are right there. I know these are the things I want to do to get to where I want to be, because I have clarity on what the most elite version of myself looks like, right? And if you need help with that, one thing, what's his name? Ed Milet, he made a great podcast about goal setting. That's something I would really, really listen to and study. I listen to it like 5 times a year. Next thing, I'll have to find this, but Ryan Stewman, also known as a hardcore closer, he does an exercise where, I think it's in his Rewire podcast, you can look it up, where he talks about how to picture the most elite version of yourself. Do that, and really think about your why and where you want to be a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and think about how you'll need to make extra income to get there, how to budget properly to get there, whatever it is. But I really think it's super important to do that. That way you stay focused, because life will distract the fuck out of you with stupid shit all the time. The biggest thing is understanding we need to stay centered, because it's going to be a goods and bads, and staying centered and having clarity on your goals will help you move you forward. So yeah, those are 3 things to recap: how to make extra income, learn how to make extra income, learn how to budget, and get clarity on your goals. And I've truly believe from the bottom of my heart, those are 3 things you must know before you get out of the military, right? Or that's not just the military, that could be any job or transitioning. For me, I'm a real estate agent, so my job is 100% commission. I know it's not going to be easy, and really when you get out, it's not going to be easy at all. It's easy. Whoever says it's easy is a fucking liar. But yeah, if I could ever help you with anything, real estate or whatever, setting goals, I'm another veteran young dude, I'm a young hustler for myself, please let me know. My social media is in the comments or the description. I'll put my phone number, email, whatever in there. Reach out to me, and if you like this video, like and subscribe, and share it with someone that you think might need to know this. And really, dude, when I say if I could ever help you with anything, let me know. Okay, let's go crush the rest of 2020. You guys have a good one.